Hello everyone, if you're new to my channel, what's up, how's it going? My name's Micah and I post gacha on My Hero Academia, usually including the ships Ida Ocha, Kiri Mina, Todo Momo, Serokami or Serokami, and obviously BakuDeku. If you aren't new, welcome back, I'm happy you're here. Anyway, let's get started. So in case you haven't noticed by my username and or content, I quite obviously ship BakuDeku, which is the ship between Katsuki Bakugo, other known as Dynamite, King Explosion Murder or Kachan, and Izuku Midoriya, other known as Deku and or All Might's quirk successor. If you are in the My Hero Academia fandom, you most likely know about the huge controversy between BakuDeku. Either you like it, hate it, or don't mind it, but you don't personally ship it yourself. Today I will be talking about this ship, and while talking about personally liking BakuDeku, I will also try to understand why some people dislike or even hate this ship. Start off, I'm going to try to understand the hate behind it as well as explain it. In the first season of My Hero Academia, we meet Midoriya, who was in middle school. Obviously, he was quirkless and Bakugo makes fun of him for that, but in a very harsh way. He was a middle school bully because his quirk was very powerful compared to most other people, so he viewed himself as better than everybody else. Because of this, he had a huge advantage to Midoriya, even at one point telling Midoriya, I quote, "You know, if you really want a quirk, there might be another way. Take a swan dive off the roof of the building and pray you'll be born with a quirk in your next life," end quote. As well as burning Midoriya's shoulder with his quirk and throwing his hero analysis notebook out the window into a water fountain after burning it as well. This is just what we saw, but there was 100% way more taunting than just that towards Midoriya. Obviously, this was not okay, especially telling Midoriya to end his life, and though some people, mainly BakuDeku shippers, believe this bullying may be because Bakugo believed Midoriya would be KILLED'd if he became a hero without a quirk, I do not believe this theory is true, and I don't think it was ever confirmed. Another reason people may dislike BakuDeku is because Bakugo didn't apologize to Midoriya until almost the end of season 6. But these people have to remember that Bakugo is a very proudful, egotistical person, and it most likely took him a lot of courage and messed with his pride to do this. He may have also believed that Midoriya wouldn't forgive him, which could have been a setback to the apology. While I do believe that he should have apologized sooner, I think this was a huge character development and think it was a bit surprising for him to apologize in general, and I think this really helped the BakuDeku dynamic. Anyway, enjoy the apology scene real quick. I also forgot to mention this, but Bakugo starts calling Midoriya Zuku his first name instead of Deku because Deku was used to hurt Midoriya. Bakugo and Midoriya also had a very rocky relationship with each other for a very long time, especially with their tough past together. Though Bakugo apologized and Midoriya forgave him, it doesn't make the years of emotional torture and trauma Bakugo gave Midoriya okay in any way, shape, or form. But I do think even non-BakuDeku shippers can appreciate Bakugo's apology for the sake of admitting his wrongdoing, taking responsibility, and showing his vulnerability in front of Midoriya as well as his classmates. Moving on, let's talk about the hate the most open BakuDeku shippers get. For starters, the most common hate I think would be, I quote, "BakuDeku sucks, insert their ship, is way better," end quote. Though this is barely bad or hurtful, it is still very annoying. Though let me say, I've seen other shippers get these same types of comments. If you're somebody who comments this on people's videos, please stop. Just don't comment at all. But if you really feel the need to say this, instead you could say something like, "This ship is cool, but personally I prefer," and then whatever your ship is. Anyway, there's a lot of other hate we get. Another not so bad but more so annoying one is either tagging or sharing the video to your friend to make fun of it, or just spamming the crying emoji or skull emoji. And dude, let me just say, if you do this, you aren't being funny. Another thing is saying that BakuDeku is so 2020 cultured and stuff. This one person, I don't think they were intentionally trying to be mean, but once somebody commented, "No way this isn't a 2020 repost" on my video. Obviously, this wasn't too bad, but it still hurt a bit to be told my video looked like something from 2020.
And I'm just going to list hate that I've seen others get or that I've personally got for shipping BakuDeku. Skip to the time on the screen if you don't want to listen. Number 1, Stop or please stop. No, thank you. Number 2, is Uocha's canon? Okay, what do you want me to say to that? Number 3, I quote, Midoriya isn't gay, end quote, or I quote, Bakugo isn't gay, end quote. Which, how would you know? They never even say the sexualities in the show, besides when it's confirmed the character has a crush on a different character. Even then, they could also have a crush on the other gender too. There's millions of others, but these are just the most common ones that I've seen or gotten.
Now I'll be talking about why I ship BakuDeku, why it's valid too, and why you should support or at least respect this ship if you don't ship it personally. I'm gonna say this first, I do not ship junior high/middle school BakuDeku. That would be a toxic and abusive relationship. If your relationship is like that in any way, please tell a trusted adult and reach out for help, especially if you're the Midoriya in that situation. Anyway, now that I've got that disclaimer out of the way, let's continue. So first of all, after junior high, yes, they didn't exactly get along together, but it never got as bad as it was in junior high again, besides their fight against each other. But I'm not sure that counts, as it was way more fair because Midoriya had a quirk to fight back with. In this sludge monster incident, Midoriya risked his life for Bakugo, and then later on, when the League of Villains kidnapped Bakugo, Midoriya again risked his safety to save him, making up a whole plan and still being injured when this happened. As well as in My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, Midoriya temporarily transfers his quirk to Bakugo so they could beat Nine. If Midoriya didn't do so, both him and Bakugo would have died. Anyway, enjoy the BakuDeku scene real quick. So this whole kind of end segment of the video is going to be about the final war, and after the final war, if you haven't got to there and you don't want spoilers, I suggest you click off or skip to the very end where I do the little conclusion. So Bakugo returns the favor to Midoriya in multiple ways. He stole Shigaraki/All For One in the final war by constantly shoving his explosions down Shigaraki's throat, so he didn't even really have the time to think. Bakugo acted as a shield so Midoriya had the time to hit the villain. In Midoriya's hard fight with the dictator, he was struggling, but Bakugo got a strong AP shot on the dictator. My final mention for this is that in the war, Bakugo saw Midoriya was struggling and jumped into the way, pushing Midoriya out of the way. Thankfully, the hit missed his vital organs. I already mentioned Bakugo's apology, but that's another reason why BakuDeku is valid, especially because Izuku forgave him. After the war in Season 6, Episode 15, Bakugo wakes up and is confused at first. He immediately starts worrying about Midoriya, and he says, I quote, if he dies, I'll KILL him, end quote. He gets up even with his severe injuries with the intent to check on Midoriya, ignoring his classmates telling him to lay back down. Anyway, I think I made all the points that I wanted to. If you have anything to add, put it in the comments. I hope that I changed your opinion on BakuDeku, or at least made it so you don't exactly hate it anymore. But that's all. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!